Hi guys, welcome to episode 3 of You Got This, the takeaway edition. In this episode, I'm going to be addressing the question, how do I stop beating up on myself after I've made a mistake? Oof, yeah, I totally know what this feels like, and I think a lot of us can probably relate to this feeling. You make a mistake at work, you say something in the heat of passion to your spouse or to your partner, or you borrow somebody's car, you ding it, and you just feel, you feel so terrible. You just feel awful, and you can't let it go. It doesn't matter what you do. You just keep reliving it, and you keep raking yourself over the coals, and you've got this horrible pit in the center of your stomach every time you think about it, and you just wish you could just stop thinking about it. And the more you try to stop thinking about it, the more you think about it. Yeah, I've been there. I know how that feels. It's not fun. Here is what I would suggest. The first thing that helps in this situation is to figure out whether or not what you're feeling is guilt or what you're feeling is shame. Brene Brown has done some amazing work around this. I'm sure you're probably familiar with it or have heard of it. She makes the distinction between guilt and shame as guilt feels like I've done something bad, and shame feels like I am bad. And the reason that this is important, these two distinctions are important, is because with guilt, the fix is very simple. It's not always easy, but it's super simple to fix. The reason you're feeling badly about having made this mistake is that it's out of character for you, or it's outside of your values. It's something that doesn't really reflect who you are. That's why it feels so uncomfortable. So the easiest way to remedy that is to make amends for your mistake. Go to the person, own your mistake, apologize, and try and fix it. Try and make it better. Pay for the car repairs, stay late at work, and fix the mistake that you made, and apologize. Eat a little crow. It goes a long way, and it's super good for your soul, and it will bring those feelings of, oh God, I wish I hadn't done that. It'll bring those feelings way, way down. And slowly, slowly, those feelings of guilt will start to lessen, and they won't feel nearly so sticky and uncomfortable. So make amends, that's the first thing. However, most of the time in my experience, when people are raking themselves over the coals and they can't forgive themselves for having made a mistake, most often what they're feeling is shame, not guilt. So remember, shame is, I made this mistake, and this means that I am a bad person. This one is the one that feels the most uncomfortable. Brene Brown, again, her advice for getting out of that sort of shame spiral, that's what she calls it, her best advice is empathy. Empathy is the foil to shame. Go to someone who has an empathetic ear and who you feel safe with. So if you have an overly critical parent or spouse who is going to heap more shame on you, that is not the person to go and talk to. Find a friend, a colleague, go to them and say, oh my God, I completely screwed this up and I just can't get over it. Brene Brown's research showed that shame thrives in secrecy. The more you keep it to yourself and the less you speak it out loud, the stronger the shame's hold on you will be. That should have you starting to feel a lot better, just speaking your shame. The next thing I would say is ask yourself, what am I making it mean? This mistake. What am I making it mean about me? Because oftentimes when we can't let a mistake go, when we're raking ourselves over the coals and we just keep, picking up the stick and whacking ourselves with it, oftentimes it's because there's an underlying meaning that we're assigning to this one error. Oftentimes it's something like, it means I'm stupid, it means I'm lazy, it means I'm just generally a bit of a fuck up, it means that I don't belong in this position, I don't know what I'm doing, whatever it is. See if you can find that underlying driving thought behind the shame. And then I want you to start to poke some holes in it. Is it true? Can you know with 100% certainty that this mistake makes you a stupid person? My hunch is no, it does not make you a stupid person. The other thing you would need to keep an eye on is that our brains are creatures of habit. So the longer you've held the shame inside, and the longer you have spent raking yourself over the coals again and again and again, the more time you've tried to not think about this mistake and end up thinking about it as a result, you're basically creating a pathway in your brain that you're just going to keep falling into. I call it the deepest groove. The deepest groove in your brain is, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Why in the hell did I do that? Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. And the more times you walk that pathway, mentally in your brain, the deeper the groove gets. So notice that this is sometimes a habit, that you go into this shame spiral by trying to make yourself feel better. You just end up making the groove deeper. So the way to fix this is very simple. You actually don't have to fill the groove in. Our brains are really interesting in that when we stop walking a pathway mentally, your brain says, oh, we don't need this pathway anymore. And it starts to break that pathway down, and eventually it will just dissipate on its own. But the only way that you can stop walking the deepest groove is you have to find a new groove. So find a thought that works better. When it comes to mistakes, I find empathy and compassion for yourself is honestly one of the best things. People often recommend speak to yourself like you would speak to a friend. So what would you say to a friend of yours if they made the same mistake? Oh, sweetheart, it's no big deal. You know what? It's fine. It's a mistake. You owned it. You made amends. You did everything that you can. You never intended to hurt anybody. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything about who you are. I love you. Walk that path. But here's the thing. You have to catch yourself in that deepest groove and pick yourself up like a needle on a record and pick the new groove. So every time you notice you're going down the, oh my God, I'm so stupid pathway, I want you to stop and go, it's okay, sweetheart. It's okay. You made a mistake. You owned it. I love you. Let's move on. And you'll probably fall right back into, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Stop yourself. Pick up the needle. Put it in the new groove. It's okay. You owned it. You made it all better. Let's move on. This does not make you a bad person. And you're going to have to keep doing this. This is a practice. Those pathways do not dissipate overnight. So every time you fall in the deepest groove, mentally stop yourself. Don't go down the track. Go into the new groove. And if you fall back in, do it again. This is a practice. That's it for episode 3. Thanks for joining me. Keep sending me your questions. You can email them to me at jude@judetemple.com, or you can send them to me via Facebook Messenger. My Facebook page is Jude Temple Life Coaching, or you can just put them in the comments section below, and I will do my best to answer those questions in an upcoming episode. Thanks so much. Bye, guys. Brene Brown talks about how secrecy or shame. Have a look at what your. So that's how I would say you can